Listen up. The path to greatness is not paved with applause or validation. It's walked in silence, carved by sweat and tears, and lit only by the faint glow of determination. I did it alone, not because I wanted to, but because life left me no choice. And you know what? That's when I discovered something extraordinary. When you're left with no one else, you find the strength you didn't know you had. Being alone strips away every excuse. It leaves you bare, raw, exposed to the truth of who you are. There's no one to blame, no one to lean on. It's just you and the battles raging in your mind. That's when the real war begins, not with the world, but with yourself. You face your fears, your doubts, your insecurities, and all the lies you've been telling yourself. In those moments, you realize how much of your life you've spent waiting for someone to notice you, to validate you, to pull you out of the pit. But here's the hard truth. No one is coming. No one is going to save you. And as brutal as that sounds, it's also the most liberating thing you'll ever learn. Because once you accept it, you stop waiting. You take control. I wasn't handed anything. No golden opportunities, no helping hands. There were days when I questioned everything. My abilities, my purpose, my worth. Nights when the silence felt deafening, pressing down on me like a weight I couldn't lift. But those nights taught me how to fight. Not with fists, but with resilience. Not with noise, but with focus. When you're alone, you face a voice in your head that tells you, you're not enough. You'll never make it. That voice, it's a liar. But you can't shut it up by ignoring it. You confront it. You wrestle with it. You beat it into submission until it's replaced by something stronger. A voice that says, I am enough. I will make it. Solitude is a test. It's a forge where the weak parts of you are burned away, leaving behind a version of yourself that's tougher, sharper, and unbreakable. You don't become that version by taking the easy road. You become it by walking alone, through the storms, the setbacks, the pain. Think of the lone wolf. It doesn't wait for a pack to come to its rescue. It doesn't rely on others to survive. It adapts. It sharpens its instincts. It hunts alone, thrives alone, and stands stronger because of it. The world tells you that being alone is a weakness, but the world is wrong. Solitude isn't a curse. It's a gift, if you're strong enough to embrace it. I've been called stubborn, cold, even arrogant for refusing help. Let them say what they want. Because the truth is, the people who criticize your solitude are the ones who are too afraid to face their own. They cling to the noise, the distractions, the crowds because they can't stand the silence. But the silence, that's where the real work happens. When you're alone, you see the world differently. The distractions fade. The noise dies down. You start to hear your own voice, your true voice, and it's clearer, louder, more powerful than anything you've heard before. That voice doesn't need approval. It doesn't seek validation. It simply says, keep going. So, I kept going, through every setback, every failure, every moment when quitting felt like the easiest option. I didn't just survive those moments, I used them. I turned the pain into fuel, the doubt into drive, the loneliness into a weapon. And brick by brick, I built a version of myself that doesn't crumble. The world loves to tell you that you can't do it alone, that you need a team, a support system, a safety net. But those are just comforting lies. The truth, you are your own team. You are your own support system. You are your own safety net. Walking alone isn't easy. It's painful. It's grueling, but it's worth it. Because when you come out the other side, you're not just stronger. You're unstoppable. You don't need anyone else to validate your journey. You don't need permission to succeed. You don't need approval to rise. This is your life, your fight, your climb, and no one else can do it for you. So embrace the solitude. Use it. Let it sharpen you, harden you, transform you. Because in the end, it's not the applause of the crowd that matters. It's the fire inside you, the fire that says, I did it, alone. The strength you gain from walking alone doesn't come from the absence of struggle. It comes from the depth of it. Solitude forces you to confront the pain, the doubt, and the overwhelming desire to quit. But in those moments of despair, you realize something profound. Pain is temporary, but the strength you forge in its fire lasts forever. When I was alone, I learned to embrace that pain. Every setback became a lesson, every failure a stepping stone. I stopped seeing pain as an enemy and started seeing it as a teacher. Pain doesn't exist to break you. It exists to mold you, to refine you into something unshakable. Think about it. The strongest materials on Earth are forged under the most intense pressure and heat. Diamonds aren't made in comfort. They're born in the depths of the earth, under unimaginable conditions. The same is true for you. Without pressure, without heat, without the crushing weight of solitude, you remain untested, unproven. But with it, you become a force to be reckoned with. Society doesn't understand this. It tells you to avoid pain, to seek comfort, to surround yourself with others at all costs. But comfort breeds complacency, and too much reliance on others weakens your resolve. When you depend on someone else to pull you up every time you fall, you forget how to stand on your own. You forget how powerful you really are. I didn't have the luxury of forgetting. I didn't have someone to pick me up, to whisper words of encouragement when I felt like giving up. And you know what? That was the greatest gift I could have been given. Because when there's no one else, you're forced to become your own motivator, your own champion. You learn to pick yourself up, to dust yourself off, and to keep moving forward no matter how hard the road becomes. You learn to push through exhaustion, to silence the voice in your head that says, "You can't do this." Because the truth is, you can. You're stronger than you think, but you'll never know that strength until you're forced to use it. Walking alone taught me the value of discipline. There's no one to hold you accountable, no one to check in and see if you're doing the work. The only person you answer to is yourself, and that's terrifying. But it's also empowering, because when you hold yourself accountable, when you set your own standards and meet them, you discover a level of pride and self-respect that no external validation can ever match. Discipline becomes your weapon. It keeps you moving forward when motivation fades. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes like the wind. But discipline is constant. It's the voice that says, do it anyway, even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. In solitude, you also learn the value of focus. Without the noise of the crowd, without the distractions of others' opinions, you gain clarity. You see your goals for what they really are. Not distant dreams, but tangible realities waiting to be claimed. You realize that the only thing standing between you and those goals is the work you're willing to put in. And let me tell you, when you're alone, there's nothing stopping you from putting in that work. No one to slow you down, to tell you it's time to take a break, to pull your attention away. You become a machine, relentless and unstoppable. Every step you take is a step closer to becoming the person you were always meant to be. But here's the thing about solitude. It doesn't just build you up, it reveals you. It strips away all the masks, all the pretenses, all the excuses. It shows you who you really are, and that's scary. It's uncomfortable, but it's also necessary, because you can't become your best self until you face your true self. I did it alone, not because I wanted to, but because I had to. And now, looking back, I wouldn't change a thing. Walking this path alone has made me stronger, more focused, more resilient than I ever thought possible. It's taught me that I don't need anyone else to validate my journey, to tell me I'm on the right path. I know I am. And so are you. If you're walking alone right now, take heart. The road is hard, yes, but it's also worth it. Because when you reach the end of that road, you won't just have achieved your goals. You'll have become someone who is truly unstoppable. The world may not understand your journey. They may criticize you, doubt you, try to pull you back into the crowd. Let them. Their noise means nothing. The only voice that matters is the one inside you, the one that says, keep going. So keep going. Walk that road. Embrace the silence, the struggle, the pain. Use it all as fuel. And when you reach the end, when you look back at everything you've overcome, you'll be able to say with pride, I did it, alone. Stop waiting for someone else to change your life. If this message resonated with you, it's because you're ready to act. Take the first step right now. Hit that subscribe button and join a community of relentless warriors who refuse to settle. Smash the like button if you're done making excuses, and share this video with someone who needs a wake-up call. Remember, this isn't just a video. It's a challenge to rise, to fight, and to become unstoppable. Drop a comment below and declare your next move. What are you going to conquer today? Because the truth is, the world doesn't wait, and neither should you. The strong act now. So what's it going to be?